Hello, let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. I'm very excited that you're here to join us. I will say up front, I'm dealing with some weather issues and some tech issues. So if something goes wrong, uh, I will come back. We will come back. Stay with us because the show must go on. The show must go on, Shuri, particularly this show, because this is a very special stream. It's the first episode of She Collects, a new interview series where I'm going to be chatting with a fellow female collector about their collecting experience, their journey into collecting, a whole bunch of interesting things. Are you all right there, Shuri? Can you not do that? Thank you, Madame. You're interrupting the intro. My first guest is someone I'm really excited to have on. She's an amazing figure photographer. I'm an unapologetic InArt lover, and I think a much loved member of our community, all the way from the UK. Mandy Burton. Mandy, welcome to She Collects, and thank you so much for being my first guest on the show.
Well, thank you so much for asking me. I'm so excited about this. You're ace, and this is
Thank
just
you.
bloody brilliant, just amazing, and it's amazing that you're doing this. So thank you so much for having me. I apologise in advance because there's no filter between here and here, but we're in good company. I feel,
That's
yeah.
okay. I don't think I have much of a filter either. I think it gets me in trouble sometimes. And I just say I'm it's an authentic experience on this stream. Who knows what I'll say? Who knows when Shuri will walk past? Shuri was interacting with my secret item. That's why I was like getting a bit nervous. So that's okay. We're here. We're gonna have a chat. We'll do a quick little hello to see who's in the chat, give people a chance to join us. Hopefully, people turned on their notifications to join us. We've got 14 Wellington. Good morning, afternoon, evening, Helen and Mandy. Hello to you. I love when people do the good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're inclusive of all time zones on this channel.
Absolutely.
We've got Tiny Art Guy. Wonderful to see the Cagney and Lacey of the six scale collecting finally getting together. I know, right?
Ace.
Hopefully the first of many, I would say. Bobby D's here. Hello, Bob. Excited for this new segment. Excited that you're here. We've got Figure Fan for Life, another female collector from Canada. Greetings. Hope everyone is well this fine day. Looking forward to this fabulous duo. Thank you. We've got Joe Stefan. I think this is one of your members of the Clan Sixth, Mandy. Hello, Joe.
He's one of the wonderful admins and a big Rebels fan. Sorry, Helen.
That's okay.
We're both big
I know
Rebels
the
fans.
Star Wars is going to come up a lot today. That's fine. And I'll say this up front. Mandy might be Team Star Wars and Team Dog, but I still have a lot of love for her. She's an amazing person.
Back at you, Team Cat and Team DC.
Team not Star Wars. team not the Star Wars. Mandy's here in the chat as well. We've got OG fan when Star Wars was just, I'm guessing that's meant to be Star Wars. Hello everyone. Hello to you. I'm probably going to be less likely to offend the Star Wars fans this stream. We'll see how we go. We've got Dream and Visions. We need a clap track. Oh, I should have, Mandy. Mandy, we'll give you some applause. Thank you for being here.
There we go.
You got fancier gadgets than me. I just play the StreamYard stuff because if I had a whole thing to control, I wouldn't do it. Oh, here we go. This stream is proof that cat and dog lovers can get along. Absolutely, they can. Who says they can't? Winman's here. Good day to both of you ladies and everyone in the chat. Hello to you, Winman. I was going to say happy Friday, but it's not Friday. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We've got Lucy here. Hi. Hello to you, Lucy. Thank you for coming to join us. Mitchell Lawrence, afternoon from the UK. Is this a Wednesday thing now? Well, this is a new show. So Friday, we talk about the newsy news, and on Wednesday, we do She Collects, because different day for a different stream. Renz is here. Hello, Renz. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, and good night to everyone. Well, hopefully not good night yet. We've got a stream to do. Nobody should be going to sleep just yet. Eric's here as well. Good morning, Helen and Mandy. 1-6 goodness on a Wednesday. I know, what more could you want?
I was born on a Wednesday. It's a good day. Yeah, Wednesday's a good day.
I think I was born on a Tuesday. Windman says, nice to hear the bacon frying sound once again. Windman thinks the StreamYard applause sounds like frying bacon.
Fry. Oh.
It's like, is the dress like blue or gold? Which one is it? Broke Collector's here, happy to be here for the inaugural She Stream Clan Live. Is that your saying? Is that?
I like it. I've never
You
heard
should
it before,
adopt
but I
it.
like it. Yeah. Need to get stickers and badges.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Absolutely.
I will say that down in the description, I do have links to all of Mandy's socials where you can find her YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, figure photography page. Mandy has some brilliant photos. Even a non-Star Wars person like me appreciates them. And the Facebook group, the new Facebook group, Clan 6. So all of those links are down in the description. So we've got the intros out of the way. Let's get it chatting, Mandy. I've got my cup of tea. I hope you've got
I've got
cuppa.
my tea too. Yeah.
Amazing. I've got I brought the big cup. I brought the big cup because I thought I might need a big drink.
I'm just hoping I won't need a wee midstream.
Oh, we might.
But you know what?
Might need a timeout at some stage. We'll see how we go. So, to kick things off, I always like to start at the beginning. So, I just kind of thought it would be interesting for you to share sort of what got you into collecting.
Wow. If we go back right the way back to when I was a little kid, I was always into action men, never Barbie dolls or Cindy dolls. My mum and my nan used to try buying me dolls, and I'd just basically take the clothes off them, excuse me, and use them for my action men.
Oh.
So mum and dad split up when I was a kid. This is going to be a long one. I apologise. This will be quick. So I used to see my dad every Sunday. So on Sundays we used to do, he bought me a motorbike. We'd do fun stuff like I'd go out on my motorbike. We'd go to zoos. We'd go to theme parks. And at the end of the day, he'd always say, come on, let's get you something. So we'd go to the toy shop and it was open on a Sunday. Maybe it wasn't. But it was always open on a Sunday, so I could pick any action man or action figure I wanted. So I'd get one every week. So I had quite a good collection as a little kid. Anyway, like roll on. So every week I'd have a new action man. Spoiled. I was a bit spoiled, but only my dad would spoil me. So then at 10, some personal stuff happened, and I just basically ran away from home, like the badass I am. And not far. I only ran like half an hour to live with my dad. So obviously I couldn't take very much. So I got on my bike, had my cuddly monkey, who I've still got somewhere here. I got him when I was 1, so I know this is a long story.
No, it's an epic story. But Mandy told me this story before, and I was like, and she's like, oh, you're frozen. I'm like, no, I'm just like, oh my God, this story is like next level. So no, please keep going. I love this story.
Thank you. So it all came to a crux. So I got on my bike. I was 10 years old. I put my monkey under my arm, and no euphemisms. I just had him, and off I went. But of course, I left all my action figures at my mom's house with her partner, and so all my action figures, which I absolutely loved, which I think is probably a reason why, or not a reason, or it might be a factor why I collect now. Maybe there's something there. But anyway, so that's when I started collecting. Then I got a few more figures, and then when I got to about 11 or 12, it's like, right, I'm too old now. I don't think I should play with action figures anymore. So that was that. So anyway, as I got to like 16, 17, I started getting the odd action figure and the odd Lord of the Rings figure and that. But I think Hot Toys and 1/6, like I've still got my Bionic Man from when I was a kid. So they must have been at my nan's house, and my Bionic Woman. So I've still got some old figures. But the start of lockdown, I had a couple of old Action Men figures from when I was younger. But I'd seen, there was a photographer called Christy Hurd. I used to listen to, I'm getting all my jumbled up now. Basically, I got my first camera around 2018, and I started taking pictures of my dog on a phone, and I wanted to elevate that to a camera, but I knew nothing about lighting. So I managed to buy a couple of lights, not knowing what I was doing, but I've got a very generous friend that's a photographer that taught me some basics of lighting. So I wanted to sort of learn about lighting. So I'd seen this photographer. There was a famous photographer called Gina Militia, and she's got a podcast. She's an Australian woman. She sadly passed away, but she was a legend. And she did a podcast called So You Want to Be a Photographer, which was brilliant. And she always used to say, start by peeling potatoes before you can make the beef mignon or something. So start simple. Work your way up. So Christy Hurd was a guest on one of her podcasts, and she had this figure. Now, I do like Brad Pitt. I have a very, very soft spot for Brad Pitt, especially in Thelma and Louise with the cowboy hat and just his jeans. Amazing. Right. I saw she did like loads of pictures of this hyper realistic figure that looked just like Brad Pitt. It was the Fight Club one. It was like, oh my days, what is that? Hadn't got a clue. Did not know anyone in the community. I wasn't part of the community then. But I kept searching on eBay, like action figure that looks real, realistic action figure. I'd never heard of Hot Toys, but I stumbled upon the TTM 19 by hook or by crook. It came my way, and this was the thing I saw, and it's like, oh my days, look at that. Isn't he beautiful? So I bite now. So he came, and then during the first bit of lockdown, I was learning lighting, like using off-camera flash, just like a little flash unit, and putting it over there and putting a trigger and seeing how the light would change. So this was my first figure, and then it's like, what can I do with this if I take a picture? I know, I'll start him an Instagram account. And so I'm going to be careful what I say here, because somebody might find the Instagram account and there's a lot of embarrassing stuff, but I don't believe in taking it down because it's part of my learning process. So I called him Joseph with an F, which is interesting because Joe from Clan Sixth is a Joseph, because my dad's called Joe as well, but not a Joseph with a PH. So with an F. So I set him up an Instagram account, and I was living my best life through him. He was an actor. He was Norwegian. He had a really good glamorous life. He had friends. Tom Holland was his friend. He had lots of good friends. So anyway, I'd be posting stuff, and there was another lady that I met. Well, her action figure, and she was a detective. So Joseph would speak to her. I mean, this sounds really sad, but it was so much fun. And she bounced back as her character. So we had this thing going. And anyway, they ended up having children together. It's really quite amazing. I met up with this lady as well a couple of times. And she's fearless. She's like, come on, let's get our figures out in public. And, we'd go to a canal side or we'd go to a park. And she lives about 60 miles from me. And I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. He had a full backstory. He had his mom, he had his dad, all the names. If you find the Instagram account, everything will be there right back to the beginning. So that's how it all started for me with Joseph. So I owe everything to Joseph, that TTM 19 by Hot Toys. And then it was just, after then, the floodgates opened. I managed to find some groups. I can't even remember the first group. I used to listen to Collecting Weekly on my bike on the way to work on a podcast. I was looking for a head. I got a Luke Skywalker head to make my first kit bash. That was my first Star Wars figure, a New Hope Luke, who, again, he's so close to my heart. Oh, I'll take a breath now. Sorry for that.
No, it's all good. As I say, I just... it was such an interesting story, and it's funny because I found so many parallels with my own, I guess, earlier days, because I have a brother who's 5 years older than me, and he used to have all the cool toys. He had the Transformers, he had He-Man, he had all that cool stuff. And it's funny because you're talking about the dolls, because I remember my poor dad, God bless him, he bought me Peaches and Cream Barbie. I have no memory of this, but my mum tells the story about how she went missing. And my mum, because this was a really expensive doll, we're talking about the 80s, my mum would be like, like, Helen, where's Barbie? And I would be like, oh, she died. And my mom's like, what, she told me she died. Apparently I buried her in the backyard. I full on was like, no, she did. I want the He-Man and all that. And then I got lucky that
Brilliant.
eventually they got me like the She-Ra action figures and stuff like that. And that was much cooler than Peaches and Cream Barbie. So no, I definitely feel a little bit of connection there with that story, because I think I was a bit the same. I kind of would look at the toys the boys had and go, man, they're so much cooler. Like Peaches and Cream
Absolutely.
Barbie couldn't be any lamer than I don't know anything. So
I guess if
um
you're into hair and makeup and like dressing them up like that, that would be a good thing. But you know, like I had like an Action Man helicopter as a kid and a
oh
tank, and I'd
nice.
sit on the tank and go down hills, and there was, you know, like, oh, you know, it was just so much more exciting.
So your first figure was obviously what we're seeing on the screen, and you've talked a bit about kit bashing. So what was like the introduction to like a first full Hot Toys figure? Like what was it, and what was it about you that kind of drew you in and started you down that kind of path of collecting Hot Toys?
Well, I kit bash for quite a while, like bought bits and stuff. But I think my first Hot Toys complete figure, which I got from Toys on Fire, was Marty McFly. I
Oh
think it
really?
was, yeah, the full one I bought in a box as a new figure, um, from Back to the Future, because I love that. I love that trilogy so much. Um, I still love it now. That's one of those good moves, like you can put on your Indiana Joneses, you can put on your Back to the Futures, and they just, I don't know, they just straight away suck you in, you know. Um, but so that was the first proper hot toy I think I had, if I'm remembering right. I mean, like a lot of kit bashes and lots of heads. And there's a guy in this country in Scotland. Well, he's called Barry, and I call him Barry the Head because he has the biggest head collection ever. And you know, have you got this head, Barry? Yeah, I just looked through my box, hundreds and hundreds. Yes, he has, and then he'll send. So it's his fault, really, to the kit bashing. I think Bob Dylan knows Barry as well, so Barry goes back years and years. Um, but he was my first point of contact. Collecting Weekly was my first podcast. Um, Luke was my first kit bash, and then I think Marty was my first full Hot Toys figure.
There you go. I've
Yeah.
got some pictures. Mandy very kindly took some pictures of her collection that we'll kind of look through. And I'm a big fan of the Star Wars, so I was really relieved to see we've got Thrawn, we've got the rubbish bin droid, we've got an Ahsoka. Like you're ticking all the major boxes here. Moji cases as well. Like how do you like them as display cases? There's a lot of I guess conjecture in the community sometimes about which cases are the best cases. How do you like the Moji cases?
Um, really, really good. I mean, this is the first Moji case I got. We drove down to quite a while. It was like a couple of hours. Lucy and I drove down to pick one up. Someone was selling one, Chris Hanning, I think it was, second hand. And I'd broken my elbow at the time, so I couldn't drive. I couldn't, you know. And he was selling one of these Moji cases. It was a 655. It was actually this one. And I couldn't believe it. It was fantastic because I don't really have a lot of display room. I have a studio, and then these are in the bedroom. So this is a little computer room. I just don't know where to begin. It's quite a small room, and I've got so much stuff in here. All my guitar stuff because I teach guitar, all my lighting stuff, paper rolls, all the paperwork for the house. It's this is basically a junk room. But so I've got that in my bedroom. I've got the other one in my bedroom, and then I've got a few bits and bobs at my studio. But predominantly my figures, apart from these ones here, are a lot of them are in boxes, but I get them out and I basically change everything up. So like I'm going to be moving all my original trilogy out soon. Well, maybe in a couple of months, and then I'm going to fill it with InArt for a bit, you know, the Harry Potter lot. and the Michael Jackson and the Superman, and then I'll have that for a few months. And then, so it always feels, and also getting figures out to photograph, because then the figures are always on my phone or on my iPad, or I'm editing them so they're current, even though I don't have a big display room. It always feels like you're getting a new figure anyway, because you're unboxing them. So there's 2 kit bashes there, and then the Bruce Lee figure. I picked him up secondhand quite early on. He was really cheap. He was like £80 or something, and he's a great figure. But I can't wait to get the InArt Bruce Lee,
You
because I'm going
took
to
the
put
words
one
out
of
of my
the
mouth. I was gonna
yeah.
I was gonna ask, are you picking up the new
Oh
Bruce
yeah,
Lee?
yeah. We've actually got a song. Our band's got a song called "Be Water." Be water, my friend. Obviously,
Oh
that's one
yeah,
of Bruce Lee's
nice.
lines, you know. And obviously Groot there in his
Oh
his
yeah,
Bruce Lee
he's
outfit.
gonna have a matching
Yeah,
outfit to Bruce Lee. That's cool.
yeah.
And a Topo John Wick, which warms my heart. I am a big fan of John Wick and a Topo suit.
Oh,
And
it's
I think Topo
beautiful.
makes kit bashing so much easier because they have
Mm,
such really nice quality suits. I know I've been hounding them about making sure the bodies are compatible to the head sculpts from Hot Toys. That's what we're
good on you.
typically going to be using. And I think my next campaign is to try to get them using bodies that have a better ankle connection, because sometimes it can be a little bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
And I need all the help I can get with posing. And if something's got weak ankles, that's just
Oh,
not a good
the body on
recipe.
this John Wick. I mean, you've seen some of the John Wick pictures I did. He balances so well. You don't need wire. You don't need a stick, because like I took the most recent John Wick ones. I just took him in the garden seer, the dog photographs. But I didn't need a stick. I didn't need to break a stick off the bush so I could prop him up.
Yeah.
Nothing. The body's great, really good. The proportions are lovely. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. I've got a couple of Topo. I've got a Obi-Wan robe, and what else have I got? The Batman mouth plate,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
I've got a Jackson cape for Batman '89, and I've got a Topo one as well. Oh, and the Lord of the Rings cloak. It's like a
Yeah, yeah.
shopping list, isn't it? So yeah, I'm very impressed with those guys. Really good.
Yeah, they're doing a John Wick Chapter 1 suit 2.0, and even though I've got the
Ooh.
original, even though I've got 2 of the Hot Toys versions on pre-order, I'm still kind of tempted to pick
Well,
that one up,
life's
because
too short. It's
I'm
too
just
short.
I'm just on a mission to have every single John Wick ever. Uh, I'm gonna go back to a photo because I feel like it's probably gonna do better with my next question, because
Okay.
I know you're a huge fan of InArt, and we've got
Yeah.
quite a few of the figures here. So interested to know, what is it about InArt as a company or their figures that makes them stand out to you above other brands?
Oh, where do I begin? It's a love affair that I think will never die. I think their attention to detail is second to none. I really do. I think what you get, bang for your buck, because obviously now Hot Toys are getting more expensive. The divide between InArt and Hot Toys is there's not much in it. The I love how they paint their sculpts. I don't know what it is, but it's like the difference between art and fine art for me. They're just really delicate. You know, some people say they look a bit washed out. No, not for me. They're so perfect. They're like tiny people shrunken down. I got the Michael Jackson figure and I was looking at it and it's like, this is just creepy. Creepy because it looks so real. Like the eyes have so much life, how they root the hair and the beards. It's just no glue. Never had any glue. In fact, one of my Aragons, I washed the hair because I got it off a friend and the hair wasn't so good. So I washed it, conditioned it, dried it, applied products. Total confidence that it wouldn't fall out, it wouldn't look awful after. The materials they use, like how fine the suit is. Like I've seen the Hot Toys Joker red suit and the InArt one, and for me, I mean the Hot Toys one's great, but the InArt one is just, I mean, and also besides that, it's not. I'm not a massive fan of Asmus, but some of their figures look really good. So I didn't ever get into Lord of the Rings from Asmus. But as soon as like they were doing Gandalf, and it's like, oh my days, I'm doomed. I didn't intend to get the Jokers, but Bandong Toys on Fire, he was like, hey dear, I've got the Joker 2-pack, and it just so happened Lucy give us £1,000 day. Lucy had some money, and Lucy's my wife, and she said, right, me, you and Martha's her daughter, we're going to have £1,000 day, and you have to spend that £1,000 in a day. And it was like, okay, but Bandong's just messaged me, and just over half of that money could buy me that Joker 2-pack. I know it's a couple of days early, but I don't want to miss this. And I could just pay him on the day that we do the £1,000 day. So she was like, no, it's okay, you can. So I got the Joker 2-pack, and then I got the other two. Just I'd seen people just selling them off, and they were great prices. And yeah, and the Hobbit as well. Oh, there's just too much good stuff. And then the closed eye sculpt for Superman. I saw that, and it's like, oh, I'm going to have to bloody buy that Superman now. And it was like, oh, no, I'm not buying Superman. And then the Christopher Reeve 2-pack was announced. Like, oh, it's hard not to buy everything they do, but I'm not rich enough. So if I was rich enough, I think I would have every single figure, because the Wukong stuff, even though I haven't played the game, oh, phenomenal. Just like, oh, you know, and everything. And as well as that, the company, you can contact them. Like if ever I've had an issue, you can speak to them, and they get back to you within a day or two. Their ethics are really good. I just love them. You know, I just do. I think John as well, he's an absolute legend from InArt. He's such a nice guy. And they just seem like I know with Jazzing you can contact Yoast. I know that's, and Fabio with Caustic Plastic. These people are, but it feels more like that, more like Hot Toys. You could probably email them till you're blue in the face and you might not get any response. But without Hot Toys, we wouldn't have InArt. Without Hot Toys, I wouldn't be, you know, I love Hot Toys, but InArt for me, if I had to choose, if it was like Oasis or Blur, or if it was like, you know, I'm talking back in the 90s now, it'd definitely be InArt for me. They just...
God, Blur. I love Song 2. I still love that song to this day.
Do you know what? We played a gig in the 90s, my old band, and Damon Albarn was at the gig, and also Skin from Skunk Anansie, she was at the gig. But Damon Albarn, he was really drunk, and he went outside and he threw up, and then he was leaning on the machine. I was like, you all right, mate? He was like, yeah, I'm fine. So nothing to do with us, but there's a little bit.
I think they call that a rock and roll lifestyle, right?
I think so.
It's interesting though, because I guess for me, it's been a long time since I've gotten an InArt figure. I got the Heath Ledger Joker Deluxe 2-pack to start with, and then I've kind of watched on the sideline, and while there hasn't been things that I've necessarily wanted, I think definitely with things like the Lord of the Rings line and looking at rooted hair, the outfits, like I'll say up front, I'm not a fan of their some assembly required and the mini tweezers, but I have appreciated the level of detail that goes into those outfits and how well they've executed it. And I definitely feel like, as you've said, like they've gotten the hang of this rooted hair, I think a lot better than Hot Toys has. I think Hot Toys has gotten better, but I can't really remember the last time someone's talked about an hair issue with InArt. So I know for me, I've got like the Anne Hathaway Catwoman on pre-order, so I'm really quite keen to get that because I haven't gotten one of their figures since that Joker, and that Joker was a really good figure at the time. You know, because everyone's doing the same stuff. You know, I do kind of give the edge a little bit to the Hot Toys version, but that's had the benefit of a couple of years. But as I said, I know for me, I'm really quite keen to get another InArt figure in hand because I feel like I'm assuming I'm going to see a bit of a sort of evolution and improvement in the figure. But as I say, that Heath Ledger Joker, like when I got that 2-pack at the time, I was super happy with it. I will just quickly just check in with the chat. Figure fan for life. Helen's heart beats faster for the Star Wars. 100%. A new trooper today. Oh my God, you should have seen how excited I was. We've got Sterling's Fine Art. Good morning, ladies. Good morning to you. Austin's also come to hang out with us as well. Hello to you, Austin.
Oh.
Will, hello, Will. Shout out to the wonderful ladies, including Lucy. Shout out to you, Will. Windman's laughing at, I think that's at the demise of Peaches and Cream Barbie, yeah. Who knew I had such a vivid imagination and a gab?
Makes me like you even more, you know.
It's fun. I have no recollection of this, but my mum tells this story, and I honestly, I hear it, and I'm like, yeah, it feels like something I probably would have done. Just, we had a big backyard, lots of room to commit a crime. We've got Phil's Toys and Things. Hello to you. Austin's admiring Mandy's collection. Let me go back because I circled back. Shuri. I had to because we're talking about InArt bulbs. More style. BB-8. I'm still holding out for a Neon Tech BB-8. It's my dream.
That's a Sphero. That's a Sphero, so it's remote control. You can operate it with your phone. This is all at my studio, yeah. So there's a Kit Bash Empire Strikes Back hand, but obviously my new one's coming this week. I'm very excited. Nice. So I'll put stuff at the studio a lot of the time, unless it's behind glass, that if kids come in and they grab, it's okay. You know, yeah, I wouldn't put Gandalf at the studio, but it's good because when I'm teaching, I've got my little friends around me and we have conversations before lessons arrive. It's like, you're right, Han. He's like, yeah, I'm all right. You know, we just...
Yeah, that's cool. It's funny because I often, like some people talk about like having maybe a figure at work. That's kind of cool, but that kind of gives you like a secondary space that you can display a few more of your things. That's really nice. I try to keep things within this room because I feel like it will then take over my whole house and my house will just look like Secret Base. So I try to make the rest of the house be a little bit grown up. Oh, Lucy's saying I've been pushed out of the bedroom.
She loves it. That's why I got the Christopher Reeve 2-pack for Lucy. And she wants me to get the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman from InArt. I know she does, because she's got a soft spot for her. So then we can have her downstairs.
Nice. Well, Lucy sounds like a very supportive partner in the collecting space.
Amazing.
And you know what? You know what? We're gonna give that a bit of applause because not everyone has that benefit. So Lucy, you're a legend. We love that. We love a partner that supports our hobbies. Figure Fan for Life says quality of InArt is incredible. The head sculpts and soft goods. Yeah, the tailoring is as I say, I've admired it for a long time, and I think I've been getting a bit frustrated because they've always talked about we're gonna do a Dark Knight figure to go with the Joker, and I'm like, where is it? Where is it? Because I've been waiting like 3+ years.
You have to be very patient. I'm waiting for Frodo. I know when Frodo comes, he'll be like, I'm sorry, Luke, you're going to have to stand aside for Frodo.
We've got, I don't know how to pronounce this, D Biscuit. Hello there, Mandy. I'm here too. Hi. Felipe Gomez, hello there. Hello to you. Love a Star Wars avatar. Mandy Flex 2 Aragons. I know. She's telling us she's collecting on a budget, but I don't know. Oh, 3. There you go. She's from Chicago. That's cool. Tiny Art Guy says, Helen's Batmobile encouraged me to get mine. I love it so much. Well, that's a good segue. I'm gonna jump ahead. We've got some more photos here, and Mandy's got some amazing figures. But because Tiny Art Guys brought up the vehicles, we've got more InArt with the you've got like I really love the range of your collection. I think I always thought you were mainly Star Wars and the InArt stuff, and then when you sent me the photos, I was like, oh wow, like there's such a really like cool variety of figures amongst what you have. We've got the Star Wars, but vehicles have been brought up. And I do feel like a vehicle is like another level to the figures. And I know for me, when I got my first vehicle, which was one of the tumblers, I don't think I appreciated the size of it, all that. So you've got the DeLorean, which is a very cool vehicle. So how how, like when you got the vehicle, like sort of how was that experience? What do you think about it? I also feel like it's probably a little bit of a luxury to have space for a vehicle. So sort of thoughts on the DeLorean, and is this sort of like the only vehicle you need in your collection, or might there be others that you would potentially want to get in the future as well?
Well, I had a couple of motorbikes, but I never had a car. But I mean, as you know, Helen, this car came as a bolt out the blue. I'd had a really bad. I mean, I wish I could just give you the answer without elaborating around it. So I apologise in advance. So I'd had a really
I
bad
love
day.
never apologize. I love a story. Go for it. I'm all here
I'd
for the
had a bad
stories.
day. Oh, thank you. I got in bed and I was sitting in bed and there was a message from the godfather of the collecting community, and he said because I'd recently posted some pictures of the Doc in the white, you know, in his lab coat, and Marty with his skateboard, and he said, "Do you have a DeLorean?" And I went, "I don't." He said, "Would you want a DeLorean?" I said, "Maybe one day," but I was thinking, I know vehicles are really expensive, so they are like a little bit out of my reach at the moment. But I never said that. I just went, yeah, maybe one day that'd be amazing. He said, "Give me your address." It's like, what? It's like, what are you selling one? Do you want? He went, "Just give me your address." And it's like, you know, when you just like your jaw hits the floor, and I couldn't get my breath, and I was like, and then I started crying like a big old baby. It's like, oh my gosh, like let me pay you for it. And it's like, it's like, so Bob sent me this, and I had no clue because I hadn't, I've never had a vehicle. So when the box came, it was like, whoa, mama. And like, I mean, I love a DeLorean. It's such a cool car. And there's so much detail, and Bob had done mods to it. So it got carpet in there. It had got like, oh, what else did he did loads of mods, like the stickers on the tires. There was, you know, you open the engine, there's an engine like carpet in there. It's so cool. And then a couple of weeks later, the flames came through the post, and just phenomenal. Like I say, it's a showstopper. Lessons come in my room, and even because I share my studio with the drum teacher Karen, and her lessons are sitting waiting in a hall because I teach guitar. I've also got the studio set up so I can do dog photography there. I just clear the drum kit off the stage, clear some bits out, pull the paper roll down. I can do dog photography, and that's why it's good having figures there, because I can just move stuff aside, and then if I've got a spare hour, take some pictures. So I thought I'll take this to the studio, and then I had it on the Hot Toys stand at first, which I really love because it tilts it and it looks like it's flying, and I still might put it back on that, but I wanted it to be safe because if it gets knocked or the cupboard gets knocked, I didn't want it to fall. So Crow Customs, I got this stand, and it's really good and sturdy on that. But I didn't have any conception of how big it was going to be, how much detail, the lights. It's like a dream come true. And then I got another Doc and another Martin. I kit bashed them a little bit to make them look fit more in with the vehicle. To the left of the car, there's the original Doc and Marty, like in the Modular Case Mono. But it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's, oh, you know, so cool. It's so cool. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So Bob, and we had the pleasure of meeting Bob in June when we went to Florida. What a lovely guy, you know, and everyone knows he's lovely, but he was so charming. You've met him yourself. What a gentleman. What a beautiful, beautiful soul. That man is just, he's something else, you know. So
I say he's the nicest man in collecting, and I will physically fight anyone who wants to say otherwise, because I just
we can fight them together, bare-breasted and painted blue with babies under her arm.
Yeah, I've got a sidekick to I've got a partner to tag team in the fighting. But like, yeah, just I think just like I knew how generous Bob was before I even met him, because like you has sent me some incredible gifts that I'm just like, who does this? Like, who is this nice? And then when I went to the US as well, just like next level hospitality. And I was like, I'm like random person from the internet. And just literally like nothing was too much, just absolutely coolest dude. And I know, he's made many a gift to people, many an incredibly generous gift
It's
to
just
people.
unbelievable.
Absolutely
Lessons
love
from
Bob.
Karen's lessons that are waiting in the hall all pop their head round the door and they're like, oh, and it's always the DeLorean
Yeah.
they stop at and go, oh my, you know, and can I take a picture of it? It's like, absolutely, you know, yeah, incredible, incredible. Would I want another one? I'd quite like the Batmobile from '89 Batman. Um, but I probably won't just on a space level, you know. But yeah, they're very cool, very cool.
I it's funny because like, I think within the collecting space there becomes so much debate and conjecture about Hot Toys versus Jazz Inc. and what's the better Batmobile, and oh, Jazz Inc. is better. Why have you got the Hot Toys one? It's and I laugh because people who I've got friends who are familiar with like the superhero genre and into the movies, but they're not collecting things like me. And I tell you what, whenever they're like, "Oh, can I have a look at your collection?" They always look at that Batmobile and they're so impressed. And part of me is like, "Oh, if
Beautiful.
only you knew that how much like people have tried to troll me over. Oh, it's crap. It's oh, you couldn't afford the Jazz Inc. one." I'm like, I'm happy with what I have, and I just kind of go, you know, I just don't get why people get so worked up. But I laugh because everyone else who's seen that Batmobile is just hands down so impressed with it. And even that is like that display case I've got it in's like 1.2 meters.
Wow.
And it's close to a meter. Like when I got the box, I stood the box up vertically and it was like up to here on me. Like I know I'm not a tall person, I'm not as tall as you, but I was like, I could sleep in this box. And then you've got to try to store the box. So vehicles, as much as I appreciate them, I definitely, yeah, I've reached a point myself personally where I'm not sure that I would do any more full vehicles, but I do kind of appreciate when there's the smaller things like the Bat Cycle with the Robert Pattinson Batman. That's quite a nice space-friendly vehicle that you can have. So I do have a couple of motorbikes dotted around, which I think are
Yeah,
pretty
they're
cool. But
easier
yeah,
to manage. I've got 3 horses.
1000%. Oh,
Not real
nice.
horses, the Mr. Z horses. I've got Theoden on one. I've got one black one that's got like a Nazgully type headdress on, and then I've got the white one that's got I know it isn't canon because it's not the brown horse, but it's got like an Aragorn saddle, an Aragorn bridle, and yeah. So the horses, even storing those though, it's just like this. I'm lucky to have the studio. I am. Yeah, yeah. He's lovely, and he. Lucy, it's good because Lucy knows Bob now. She's met Bob. She's like, "Ooh, Will's good looking." You know, that's when Will said hello to Luce. Like she goes, "Oh yeah, he's dishy, isn't he, Will?" It's but it's so nice that like Luce does get involved as well. It's just ace.
Yeah, that's cool. Because as I say, I think, when you're in the groups, you see that people have varying experiences with how supportive partners are. So no, I think that's awesome to have someone who, and I get it, like maybe not having as much of an interest, but just like seeing how much you appreciate it and
Mm.
wanting to support it. Like I think that's super cool. Mr. Bobby, we're big
Oh.
fans. We're big fans of Bob. Um, we always hear about Bob. Maybe you can bring him up as a special guest one day. I'm more than happy to have Bob on. I mean, Bob probably doesn't want to be on She Collects, but Bob can. Bob,
Did you see him
just
on Philly's show?
I haven't
What a
caught up with it yet. I
treat!
get the
What a
time
treat!
difference just makes it so difficult because a lot of people in the US when they're streaming, I'm like at work. So
Mm.
I want to catch up on that. And then I saw like Shane had his stream with
You had
Justin and
Justin
whatnot. So I want
and
to I
Dean,
want to try
yeah.
to catch up on those as
That
well.
was
I just
really
as I
good as
say
well.
when I'm at work makes it a bit tricky, and a couple of times I've tried to listen to streams at work, it just doesn't work because too many people like come to my desk and want to ask stuff, and I'm like,
Shh,
I want
shh.
to listen to the stream. I'm missing the good bits. So
Yeah.
I do want to catch up on those. Speaking of which, hello to you,
Hey,
Philly.
there
Happy
he is.
Wednesday. I have to get used to not saying Happy Friday. I've got it so programmed in my brain. I have no choice. Come on now,
Lucy collects
Lucy.
perfume. She's got like a whole cupboard full of
Oh,
perfume.
really?
Yeah,
I
like rammed.
I get
Like
perfume headaches, so I would absolutely struggle if I'm walking through like a department store, like in Australia. I don't know if it's the same elsewhere. I feel like you walk into a department store and like right at the entrance is all like the
yeah,
perfumes, and I'm like
yeah. It
power
is. It
walking
is.
through, holding my breath because I'm like I cannot do it. I don't want to deal with the perfume
That's why I wear
headache.
boys' perfumes because they just sit nicer. I think they're not quite as strong. They just
Oh,
sit.
okay.
I always wear boys' perfumes.
We all collect something.
Yes.
I believe we all collect something. Um, so we've already talked a little bit about the figure photography, but I want to talk about it a bit more because Mandy often makes me stop in my tracks when I'm scrolling through social media because there's some absolutely stunning photos, and it makes me go, you need to stop being so lazy and taking like mid at best photos on your iPhone because I look at things like this and it's just everything. It's the composition, it's the pose. Like I think you do such a great job of getting like quite a bit of realism into the photos, like this one of the Arthur Fleck as well. But in particular, I want to talk about this one because Helen was here and they announced the Corin Sweat Superman, and it's the eyes closed head sculpt, and I'm like, well, what would you want that for? That's just silly. What a waste. And then here comes Mandy with her photos, and I'm like, oh, I was wrong. Look how good that closed eye sculpt is with these amazing photos, these amazing ideas that Mandy has. So I'm sort of keen to know, like, with you've talked a bit about Joseph and how you were documenting sort of his life through social media. So I guess with the Hot Toys figures and whatnot, like, where do you get some of your inspiration for some of these shots? Is it like based on the movie, just things that pop into your head? Like, what kind of inspires you, and what sort of I guess tips would you have for someone like me that just lazily takes a photo on their phone to, I guess, evolve to be able to take a picture that looks as striking as this? Because as I say, this is just a beautiful photo.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. First of all, ideas. Sometimes I have no ideas. Like I took him to my studio before I started teaching, and I took some like fluff. I'm not reading that. I took some
It's true. She's
like
amazing.
like fluff that you can use for snow or you can use for clay. You know, like you can buy it, you can use it. You buy a bag of it from Amazon, and I thought, oh, that'd look good. Like he's coming through the clouds. So a lot of the time, I don't have any strong ideas, which is it's very nice of you to say some of the poses are on point because I'm not very good at posing. I'm really not. It's like I see some people's poses and I was like, just. But what I have noticed when you're taking pictures with your camera or your phone, just a slight wrist movement or a slight hand position or head movement can evoke emotion. And I think for me, if I can kind of get some emotion over, because like it takes me back to playing with them as a kid. Like you would play from your perspective. I would be John Wick there, and I would be like, oh God, I love this dog so much. And just like his finger on, and like, so that's inspiration. Sometimes I'll see like fan art on Instagram or on Pinterest. Like people do like either digital drawings, and I don't mean AI, I just mean drawing or paintings, and then I'll get an idea from that and just go, oh, I could. Oh, I wonder if that'd work. But most of the time, it's off the cuff. What I would say to improve anybody's figure photography is lighting is your friend. Whether it's a torch and you can just hold the torch or put the torch in some sort of grip or clamp so you've got two hands free, I did a little video on YouTube. Just it was the only video I've got on there. Just lighting. I don't take pictures with my phone, but there's a way to just get sort of elevate what you do rather than just a straight like click done. To make it look a little bit more dramatic and just to experiment. So I would say experiment. If you haven't got any lights, go out into the sunshine or go out into the grey if you live here, and just look at different times of the day where the light's coming from and move your figure and just see it in your mind's eye, and um and then just sort of lock focus if you're doing it on your phone. So press and hold to lock your focus, or like, and always go for the face or the eye if you're trying to get something, like here, like I'd focus on the dog's eye, and then pull your exposure down a little bit so it's not just so bright and stark. And then if you are introducing a light, one light, a torch, little LED light, a lamp. If you like, all the lamp light makes it look too plastic, get a handkerchief or a white sheet and put it over the lamp to diffuse the light, make it softer. Like, because when we get sunlight, excuse me, it comes through clouds, so that acts as a diffuser and spreads the light. Or use a window. You might have a window depending which way you're facing, and the sun comes in the morning or the evening. I've taken some pictures like that, and it's just how the light's shining through the window. Then bring your figure, get a little bit of the catch light from the window in their eyes, and light. Just experiment with light. A lot of the times I use one light. If it's flash photography, I'll just use one light. With a grid and a diffuser. But I've started now to use, Lucy bought me the some little small rig lights that are for macro photography, and they're on like a bendy, so you can change the colour of the light. You can also change how bright it is, and they've got little modifiers, so you've got a little snoot or you've got barn doors, and they're great because then as long as you've got a tripod, or if you haven't got a tripod, and another little tip is a bag of rice. Because you can put your camera in the bag of rice. Don't open the rice. And it'll sit in that position and it won't move. It'll support the camera. But, because you have to have a slower shutter speed if you're using constant light. Whereas flash, you're not going to get as much. But if you're hand holding it and you have to have your shutter speed at like 1/5 of a second or something, you might move a bit and then you get a blurry shot. Unless you want a blurry shot, because that works sometimes, especially with jinx. You can make it look a bit crazy if you just take your camera and shake it a bit. But but these are both one light flash photography. I've also got a smoke machine, but sometimes I put it in. I do the smoke and the fog in post, and the same with lightsabers. If it's flash, obviously you use flash photography, your lightsaber will look like nothing, and then you have to edit it after. If you've got a light up saber or the light up Harry Potter ones, I used constant light and just then I. That's the light that's coming out of fusion reactors ones. They're great. So, I mean, any question. I'd like to make more videos and just little tips and ideas, because I talk a lot, and like that video I just did in one take, blah 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 blah. I didn't realise you can do over talking on videos. I didn't even think, because I just do it all in one go. And that. But if anyone's got any questions, then hit me up. There's a brilliant app called Lens FX, and you can put smoke on. It's got like it's got so many different effects in there. If you want dinosaurs, but that's a really good one to edit. If you want to add things like lightsabers and bullet shots, and just have fun with your photographs, because taking the photograph, posing the figure, taking the photograph, the setup is a big part of it, but the editing after. So if you're doing it on your phone, like experiment by pushing the shadows up, pulling them down, seeing the difference. Highlights, pull them down, push them up. Contrast. I love a contrasty photo. I'm a big contrast fan. So always push my contrast up. Just experiment, because it's just part of the fun, and it just brings everything together. Like for me, photography keeps me in the moment. It stops my head. It just locks me to that moment. And it's such a freeing thing. I used to get real And then I'd go really happy for a few days or weeks, and then you'd get down again. But I don't now. It's a constant, and I think it's a combination of the community, photography, loving so much that yeah, I'm shutting up now. Sorry, Helen. I just, blah, blah, blah,
No,
blah,
I could
blah.
listen to you all day. But this is why, like, guys, I've been saying to Mandy, I'm like, Mandy, we need the videos on the how, because lots of people will do the posing showcases and they'll show you the photos, but they don't tell you how to do it. And I know for me personally, I want to know all the things, and anything I can get to help me do better. I'm that's the kind of content I want. I feel like so many people doing reviews and all this similar stuff, but I'm like, the things I enjoy are the how. And I know for me that's where like I'm Logan Figure Posing channel, like they do the posing content and they'll talk a bit about how to achieve the pose. And for me, I don't like, I'm trying to get better at posing, but that's the stuff that makes me go, I'm going to make time to watch this. And I do think, so many people, I don't know if you've noticed them as we've been talking, have made so many complimentary comments about your photography. So I really do think there would be interest in some of those videos about how to achieve certain things. Because as I said, I know for me, I would love to watch things like that. I really want to try to get better at my figure photography and stop being lazy. But even the video you have on the channel, like I learned something out of that. I got my iPhone out. I was like, oh yeah, no, I see what Mandy means. Yep, focus here, drag it down. So I got something out of that, and I'd been just snapping on the phone blindly. So I think you've got like so much knowledge and so much useful stuff that you can share with people. You've kind of already answered what I was going to ask. So I was going to then ask, as you were talking about post, if there's any particular software or apps that you do. So what you were saying, was it Lens FX was what the one that you mentioned?
Yeah, that's good to add effects if you want to add smoke or if you want to add lightsabers. But what my general process is, so I'll take the pictures, I'll whip them all off, and I edit mostly on my iPad because
drive safe, Lucy.
Because I can do it downstairs while we're watching stuff, and it's just easier than sitting at a computer. There's some amazing diorama makers. Yeah, really is. Just Lee Hughes. We've got Cart. There's Side Toys. So many amazing ones. I mean, I do love a diorama. It just takes a level of realism up, I'm going to get Lee Hughes to make me a snowy one. That's that I've asked him. I'm going to get that sorted. The process is, so I take them off, I whip them all on my iPad into Lightroom. So I'll get a subscription to Lightroom. It gives you Lightroom, Photoshop. I'm rubbish with Photoshop. The only thing I use Photoshop for is see that thing at the top where it says Harry Potter, the one, the group shot of
the logo, yeah.
Yeah. So I took that logo off the internet, and then I like very basically cut it out, because when I say I'm rubbish with Photoshop, I'm so rubbish. Like I'll go and cut it out, and then I'll get a little paintbrush, and it's like, it looks a mess. Then I'll just fade the edges out so you can't notice. So that's good. So I'll get him into Lightroom, and then I'll do basic editing. I'll just shadows, highlights, just sort of get it to a light. And I shoot with Fujifilm now. I love Fujifilm cameras because they're very tactile. It's all dials. It's like, I suppose it's like old film cameras, because I always shoot in manual because I can control everything. Now, I'm not saying you should shoot in manual. If you want to shoot an aperture priority, fine. Automatic, fine. But the camera's making the decisions for you then. Yep. Rather than you going, I want this shot a bit dark, the camera will look at the scene, go average, average, average. Right, I'm giving you that. And it will be perfectly in focus, and it will be perfectly good. But again, my photographer friend Colette, who taught me how to light, she was like, just put it in manual, because I'd shoot in aperture priority. And sorry, the dog, that was his bird. He's just trod on his bird. Cute. So it was just like, just put it in manual, and it's like, yeah, but I don't know, what ISO do is. So I always have my go-to settings. So say if I'm shooting with flash photography, I'll like drop my ISO as low as I can, the ISO, which is like It's the equivalent of old film speed. So, like if you were shooting, you might buy a 400 film speed. I never shot film, so I'm speaking like I know. It's just what I've heard. So I have my go-to
It's
low
trust me,
ISO.
it's much easier in this digital world. I used to shoot film for sport, and my goodness, that was
Wow. You see, your
crazy
brain
times.
must just think, gee, like, because film, yeah, like I've only put one roll of film through and I loved it. And it felt almost like a religious process. Like I put the film in, I got it out the box. It was like, this is like, so I bought a roll of black and white and I must do it again because it gave me so much joy. But almost like I'm scared of failing because it's like, so, oh, what if I buy it and they're all terrible? Well, the one side of me is going, so what? You've just wasted a roll of film. And the other side goes, yeah, but just don't do it. Don't do it. So it's like, ugh. But yeah, I see I've even lost my train of thought. I knew I'd do this. I'm so bloody rubbish. But yeah, so I have my go-to settings on my camera.
Yeah, that's
You know,
cool.
and then I work from there depending what I'm getting and what I want. But I made a big rookie error today because I did a quick Malfoy shoot this morning because I got Malfoy come in. So I thought I'll do it quickly. The setup's like an hour because I have to bring it all down. But I forgot to take the bloody cover off my Godox AD400 and I just put it in the modifier. So obviously it was only letting this much light through rather than this much. So it's like, I haven't wasted film. I've only wasted time, and it's just a learning curve, isn't it? You know, you learn by your mistakes, you don't learn by your wins.
I think that's where I often debate, like, because obviously with digital photography you've got that instant sense of have you got the shot. With film it was like that mystery, and sometimes, like, particularly if you're doing photography at an event and you don't have the shot, the moment's passed, you can't recreate
God,
that. Whereas
yeah.
with digital you get that instant sense of, as you've said, particularly when you're doing manual controls. Like when I've shot sport, I'm the same. I tend to do more manual controls. You get that sense of, yeah, my setup's there. No, I need to adjust. No, I need to make a change somewhere. And I think you do get a higher chance of success. But I also feel like, and I know it's a bit different with sport, like, because you've got you're not limited by film. You, like, my SLR I have is like 10 frames per second. Yeah, literally. And it's I wonder if
so much
I've lost
editing.
some of that, speed and reaction time and whatnot because of that. Got a question from Tiny Art Guy. Mandy, do you think there is a place for AI in creating art? It seems to be everywhere right now.
I've got mixed feelings on this. I think if it brings you joy, if it brings people joy, like, you know, someone might take a picture with their phone and then run it through AI and it gives them this fabulous photo that they can look at and go, okay, this is cool. Then it's not a bad thing, is it? But the Sarah Connor in me is saying, don't touch AI. Don't touch it. We saw what happened with the machines in Terminator 2. Skynet, we know what's going to happen. So I think there's a place for people that want to use it. For me, not so much. It would help run spellings through because my spelling is atrocious, and I don't check my work. You know, at school they always go, check your work. I never check my work. So there was a place for it there. I think there's a place for something everywhere. Everywhere's got its place. It's just, I think if people are transparent, and I know for AI to work, it's taken the pictures from thousands of photographers and thousands of scenes and collated it all together. But then you could say, well, is that a new form of art because this is where it is now, you know? But, you know, like I play through an analog amp, you know, I have valve amp. I think I would love shooting film, but obviously I do digital. But the closest I can get to it is my Fujifilm cameras because the colours and
I have a Fuji X20.
Oh, I've still got my X20 downstairs. Yeah.
because I've got a big chunky SLR that I use for the sport photography, but I wanted something smaller, particularly for travel and whatnot.
Yeah,
And it is I hear what you're saying because the retro nature of it, the
yeah,
look and the dials, and still feeling like it
yeah.
wasn't like a point and click. You still had like a bit of the best of both worlds. Like Fuji do some really nice cameras.
Oh, they do. I've got so many. Honestly, I've got so many Fuji cameras. Um, not that long ago, I got the X Pro one, which is a really, I think it's 2012, 2014. And my favourite Fuji lens, not always for figure photography, is the old 35mm 1.4, which is the equivalent of a 50mm in full
Yep.
frame. And it's such an old lens, and the camera sitting on that X Pro 1, it's slow as hell. The focus is really, really dodgy, but there's something magical about it. But that 35mm lens on Fuji, I'm sure it's been laced with fairy dust, because there's something really, really special about that lens, and it's not the most expensive. I love Fuji lenses. I think their lenses are just gorgeous. Sometimes not the sharpest, the focus isn't the quickest, but they've seen me right since 2018, and I ain't gonna give up on them now. No, absolutely love them. You know,
Yeah, as I say, I like these pics too. Like with the Thorin pic, like there's just a warmth to
he's
it.
reading The Hobbit. He's reading The Hobbit.
I really liked it. And Costa's here for the codes. I did
Hey!
pass on your message, Mandy.
Oh, I haven't got any codes anymore, Costa. I'm codeless, and it feels
Oh,
good to be codeless.
we've got Big Rib here. Hello to you, Big Rib. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, as I say, like even for figures, I don't really know. As I say, I look at the photos and I'm just like constantly impressed.
Lens
Like I know
FX.
you
This lens FX for the fire,
Oh, okay.
and the little bits of, you can do that. You can there's there's a light section of it, and you can go and get like a flare, like a sun flare, and if you shrink it down and mess with the settings, you can make it look like, because that little lamp on the table isn't lit up, but
Oh,
you can
okay.
put it in there, and then you can just drop down the opacity, and you can mess around. Like I say, if I knew Photoshop, I'm sure I would use Photoshop, which is, like Bob's question about AI, it's not true, is it? Because you're adding Photoshop effects, but I'm not that good, and so I can't. But Lens Effects is a really easy app to get on your phone or
Yeah.
your iPad.
I think the AI question's an interesting one because I think I don't know what it's like in the UK, but I know conventions here in Australia, you will quite often have artists that have stalls. They'll sell like prints of art that they've probably created digitally, but like as you've mentioned, like drawn digitally or whatnot. And I know there's been this real push of not having people that have just generated it all through AI. So I kind of feel like it's a bit different when you're taking that source image and you're adding some effects to it to compared to
Mm.
just using AI. And I've mentioned this on my Friday stream, like, and the ones I really hate, story time with Helen. I've always got a rant.
I'm going
Um,
to sit back now and
there's
listen.
people who will do, like Hot Toys, like figure announcement photos. They
Yeah.
will do AI images of figures and deliberately make them look like Hot Toys announcement photos, and they catch people out. And I always remember there was a couple months ago, like they did it with the Nurse Joker, which we all know Hot Toys is clearly never going to make. And
Mm.
I'm like, because you go on Instagram and now and then I'll look on the explore tab to go, like, are there some new creators out there I can follow? Like, who's out there? And they do. Like, you're like, what have I missed an announcement? And then buried right down at the bottom, it's like this was AI generated. And I'm
Oh,
like, I don't like that. I don't like as well that I feel like they're deliberately being a little bit misleading, and it catches so many people out. Like I've had people send them to me and I'm like, well, this is not happening. Like, but they
yeah.
make it look exactly like, the kind of frame Hot Toys has around the images and their logo. They make them look identical. And I'm like, can
It's
you
cruel. It's like
please
telling someone
not?
Santa doesn't exist.
That's what gets me. Like, if you
Yeah.
want to. do a AI generation of what you think an image, a figure could be, but then don't deliberately put Hot Toys
Yeah.
branding on it and try to make it look like an announcement photo. I really, I know it's probably very petty, but I'm like, it really annoys me. It really annoys me. This was another picture that I looked at and just thought was very, very stunning. And I think someone before mentioned composition, and I think
He's called
I remember
Harry.
someone saying to know the rules of photography are to break them, and I kind of think rule of
Yeah.
thirds and not having everything
Yeah.
centered, and it's very
Yeah.
cool.
But
It's
he's
very
called
cool.
Harry. I'm quite fond of him. He's I know he's a scorched xenomorph, but
You're enabling Philly.
it's a great figure. And I tell you what, one of my face sculpts at the moment. I've lent some head sculpts to France DC that makes the eyes, because I've got his blue eyes and his pink eyes for Jinx, but he's doing
Oh yeah.
some new ones. He's doing some. I best not say. He's done the black eyes for Tom Holland. He's got my Tom Holland sculpt at the
Oh
moment, so
nice.
he's done those. But he's got so many plans. He's such a talented chap, by the way. He's only 22. I spent a few days with him a couple of weeks ago because he came to Birmingham and we just hung out. And he's, again, an old soul, a wonderful, wonderful chap. But yeah, and makes incredible eyes, like so much depth. But why did I say that? Oh yeah, Jinx. Yeah, Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's Harry. He's Harry, the
Yeah.
xenomorph.
People agreeing me with the um Bob also adding composition is
Yes.
AI to generate or augment prototypes to drum up hype or capture entities. Yeah, totally agree. I
Yeah,
totally agree.
100% on that. That's dirty. That is. That's a dirty,
I don't
dirty
like
habit.
that
No.
at all. Um, I think we've got one more. I have to say, I loved the Arthur dancing with Wednesday. I thought that was so just such a one of those like random pairings. But I saw it and I was like, I love it. Like that just looks so cool together. Like they're kind of, different worlds, but
Yeah.
maybe a bit of a similar vibe, being a bit of like the kind of outcast people. And I could just picture him like dancing in the
I
bathroom
had that
to that.
idea. You know, I said I never think of an idea. Well, when Wednesday, I had Wednesday on pre-order, and I thought when she comes in, you know, like the bathroom scene for Joker, and it's
Yeah.
the cello and it's that beautiful piece of music. I thought when Wednesday comes in, that's the picture I'm gonna. So I had to source the lamp thing on Amazon. So I bought the little lamp, which is just behind there, I think. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, these are cheap as chips. Look at that.
Oh
Just one
wow.
of those.
Okay.
So yeah, you can have USB. I think it operates on batteries as well. So I
Nice.
ordered that before I got the figure in, and because I had this idea and I didn't know if it would work, but it worked quite well, you know. Um, but I've done some shots with Ron Weasley and Wednesday playing chess together,
Oh,
and she works with those. It's a great figure. Such a great figure. And the Voldemort on the left, or he who must not be named, is 16J for my birthday. He sent me the hands, the feet, and the head sculpt. And then I've got a little custom together, but because the hands are sculpted and quite long, and the wrist pegs were quite they didn't look great how I had it. So I managed to buy these little things off AliExpress or somewhere. So he's got these like little glove things to hide it, and he's great. He's absolutely brilliant.
it's very cool. Postmaster General. Hey everyone, I'm in the studio again, but listening as I work. Well,
Oh,
hello to
it's
you.
Terry.
Welcome. Is
It's
it
Terry.
Terry
Yeah,
Smith?
yeah.
Oh wow, I feel very honoured.
Is
Very
it?
honoured. That's a new name for my stream. Hello.
Hello.
I thought I was looking at
He's
the picture, going, "Is that who I think
he's
it is?"
yeah,
Okay.
he's so good at posing, Terry. I used to love his videos that he used to make on posing. He'd just sit and he'd have a chat and he'd be posing and making it look so easy. That's like, and he's got a great voice, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's true. It's very true. Well, welcome, welcome. Another Comment, Arthur Dancing with Wednesday legitimately conjures memories of playing with action figures as a kid. When there were no boundaries, G.I. Joe and Star Wars were a perfect fit. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The crossovers we didn't know we needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Limited only by our only our imagination. That's very cool. All right. Beautiful photos aside.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk a little bit about experiences as being a woman in this hobby, because as much as I often like to say, I think more women collect than we assume. You know, we are in a hobby that I think has a lot more male participation. So
Mm.
I'm always quite interested to hear about the experiences other female collectors have had in the hobby. So, you know, as someone who has been involved for quite a while on Facebook, on YouTube, kind of keen to know, like, overall, like, what have your experiences been like? Have they been mostly positive? Has there been any situations that have made you feel out of place at all? Or how has that kind of, you know, overall the experience gone for you?
Well, I've often been told that I'm like a teenage boy in a woman's body because how my brain thinks it's like girls are ace, toys are ace, action figures are ace, motorbikes are ace. So yeah, I would tend to agree on that one a little bit. So, but I mean, I was always a tomboy growing up. So predominantly, my mates were boys a lot of the time. When I got to senior school, obviously you've got your girlfriends that you hang around with, but predominantly I've always had a lot of boys as friends, like playing in bands, and so I didn't really feel out of place. And I've had a couple of bad experiences, but not really bad, just a bit like, you know, um I think I told you I'd put a Vader picture up once, and I was cycling to studio. Vader was in my backpack, and I thought, oh, I'll just pick a couple of flowers. I hadn't got an idea what I was going to do, and then I did like a Vader sniffing a flower when I got to the studio before I started teaching. It's a little pinky purple flower, and he's just holding it. And then it made me taking the picture made me think. I wonder if Vader could actually have a sense of smell. I wonder if he ever in that helmet he ever felt like, oh, Padme, and he ever took it. So it started me thinking. So I'd posted that picture in one of the groups, can't even remember what it was, and someone put gay, and it's like, oh, no. And I went, that's a bit of a dick comment. And anyway, it's just like, ugh, I can't be arsed with him. But then as a like I remember telling Lael from Figure Flex Friday, and I'd posted it in the Figure Flex Friday group, and then everyone then in the group posted pictures of their figures with flowers, and it was so beautiful. So
That's
from
cool.
that little negative moment, like Lael's group just all came together, and it was really warming. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and a big shout out to Lael, because he was brave enough in the very beginning, very much supportive of photography, and he was very brave to have me on his show. So that's the first live stream I ever did was on Lael's Collecting Weekly. Collectors Lounge International on a Sunday. So thank you. And then not really, all I've been surrounded by are really, really nice guys. I mean, true gentlemen, as we said, Bob, true gentleman, Philly, Ben Thomas, Will, Lael, Chewy's bandolier, the boys in the group, Barry the head, always taken time, never like talked down at me when, like Barry, like he'd been in the community years, but all he's ever showed me, like I was getting a Luke together, like a pilot Luke, and he showed me how to make a vest out of like foam, like a piece of like foam, like score it with no gatekeeping. He sent me some little pictures, like cut it out with a craft knife, score it so it looks like the stripes, and it's still on that Luke figure that's sitting with the AT-AT, Lego AT-AT at the studio now. So all I've been shown by the lads is kindness. And I think sometimes boys probably think, oh, I have to watch my P's and Q's here. Well, no, because I can use P's and Q's as much as anyone. But like I say, I'm I suppose a bit of a tomboy. but yeah, like there are a lot of like really talented and lovely women in the community, but it is predominantly male, isn't it? Unless the women are just really quiet. I mean, obviously, you know, there's a lot in Figure Flex Friday. Actually, there's a lot of women in that group, which is great to see. But I've never really, and this is probably my bad, really. I've never really seen a difference between boys and girls. I'm a bit like a dog, you know, like it's a dog, so I'm a dog. And then, oh, the fact that if I lift my leg to wee or if I crouch to wee is the only difference, really. Although, you know, I can wee standing up, by the way. Just I thought I'd share that.
Fun
But you can,
fact.
yeah. I don't, but because it's much more comfortable sitting down. But I can, because obviously you try, don't you, as a little kid? Because if your mates can wee standing up, you want to be able to wee standing up. Yeah.
Laura has a comment I thought would be good to read out. I think there's always been more women in the hobby than people think. I'm old enough to remember being asked if I was buying comics for my boyfriend back in the day.
No way.
Yeah, I as I said, and it's funny because I don't know. I think we all have like different experiences, and I just don't know if it's a maybe just like that people like women are in the groups, but maybe don't feel as prone to participating as much. Like I
Mm,
don't know. Like I would love to know because I kind of want to. I feel like it's Pokemon. I want to find us all, and I've never known like would a group aimed more towards like female collectors be something that could work or be interested. But then I kind of go like, as you've mentioned, there's like so many amazing like
mm,
men in the collecting community. So many of the people I talk to are like men. So
yeah.
I'm just going like I don't know what the answer is, but
But this
I do
stream
find it
is brilliant
interesting.
because you know this is a first in my the She Collects thing. It's a first, you know. Maybe you know, like this is groundbreaking and it's brilliant. The thing I have noticed in some of the groups though, and I have to bring it up because it did bother me, and I generally don't. I don't get into arguments because it's too draining to get into arguments, isn't it? You know, but like the
Yeah.
Supergirl stuff, Millie Alcock really came in some
Yeah.
flack, and I had to dig in there and really, you know, because I couldn't let that go because she's amazing. She's amazing, and as Supergirl for me, even though Helen Slater was probably the first Supergirl that I saw, um, I think she was perfect. I think she was so
Yeah.
perfect. So I felt, you know, like even if I didn't think she would have been perfect, I still would have stood up for her a little bit because going on about someone's looks, that seems to happen a lot more with women than the guys in films. But then I don't know. I don't know. But definitely no Sydney Sweeney for
Yeah,
Supergirl.
no, thank you.
No, no,
And I think this is where it was quite interesting because you and I both big fans of the Supergirl movie. Loved
100%.
Millie Alcock in it, and I guess for me, that whole it felt like there was probably like a 2 week period around the time the movie released where I just felt like there was just so much nastiness and not just in collecting groups, like overall
Mm,
just criticizing like a young woman's appearance. And part of me was like, I don't like this side of the internet, but I know for me sometimes if I'm in a group and I feel like that's what I'm seeing, it for me it personally makes me want to withdraw from that group because I'm like,
mm,
I know for me I'm like I want collecting to be a positive hobby. It's something I love to do. And I also just feel like I've got no interest fighting with people on the internet. I mean, if you want to criticize the movie and you didn't like the movie, that's a whole other kettle of fish. You didn't
yeah,
like that
because
movie,
art is very
fair game.
subjective, isn't it?
But to just be like your one argument is you think she's unattractive or she looks like that teenage boy or whatever. I'm just going, as I say, like, and that's where part of me wonders when things like that go down, like, does that make like some of the females in the group go, I don't really
withdraw a
want to
bit.
stick my head up
Yeah.
the water because, like, is this a inclusive environment? And it's a shame because as we've said, like, there's so many amazing people in this hobby that are not like that.
Yeah.
You know, I think of, I'm the person who loves Captain Marvel, and God bless Bob Dylan, he's right there with me. But I know I
Absolutely.
can't have those conversations with just anyone. Or, you'll get shot down if you kind of, express too much of a like for it. But as I say, like, for me, it was interesting because I feel like I bounce in and out of the groups a lot. And when things like the situation with Millie Alcock happened, I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
again, because I don't want it to take away from the positivity I want around this hobby and my
Because you
collection.
can
So
control that space. It's not
yeah,
like someone's standing in front of you, spitting in your face. You can control.
yeah.
Like, worst comes to worst, you just go, turn off, gone. I'll tell you what is funny. Sometimes on Instagram, because I'm as a galaxy far, far away on Instagram, and someone might like very kindly say, "Oh, bro, that's such a man," like talk to you like you're a boy, and I was like, "Much appreciated, sis." And they're like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." It's like, no, it's absolutely cool. I don't mind getting called bro. I quite like it, but like, that's quite funny. Just throwing that one back.
There's this Instagram account of a female collector. I can't remember if she's in Australia or not, but I love her handle because it's not your bro collectibles. And I'm like, that's the best username ever. I was like, I wish
Brilliant.
I thought of that. Like, in hindsight, there's so many other channel names that even someone came into my stream once and called me Helen of Toy. And I'm like, why didn't I think of
Oh,
that? Yeah,
oh,
I know. But then, like, not your bro. I was like, that would have been
yeah.
an amazing name for a YouTube channel.
Although
She'd been like,
six
not
scale
your bro.
Shiro is really good.
Oh, I don't know.
That is
It's
good.
it's there's a lot of 6 scale whatevers. So I don't know how great I don't that idea. But I love my logo. I was very fortunate to have
Yeah.
a graphic designer friend do that for me. So I am a big fan of the logo.
Very nice.
I'll figure Fan for Life's PO'd the InArt Supergirl. Yeah, I'm still still haven't made my mind
Still
up
haven't
about
ordered it yet.
no. I'll get there. I've got time. Time's on my side with pop culture. Yeah, Terry saying even the guys at Honest Trailers dove into that pond of sewage, knocking Millie Alcock's teeth beyond unnecessary, needlessly cruel. 100%. And what we found perplexing as well was in House of the Dragon, everyone seemed to love Millie Alcock, thought she
Absolutely.
was stunning and beautiful, but then suddenly as Supergirl, she looks like a foot or whatever ridiculous things people were saying.
But
I
it
don't know. As
says
I
more
said,
about the person that's saying
crazy.
it, doesn't it? It does. It says more about them. And it's like, keep saying it because you just, you know.
Oh, this is one of my pet peeves, the creepy
Oh, yeah.
comments in the in. I was so relieved InArt actually wheeled out a dude who seemed like he knew
Yeah.
what he was talking about. So InArt, well done. I don't know if the ladies finally like went enough or if they just woke up to it, but it's crazy. Bob's with me. Artisan Carol Danvers. We must not give up, Helen. I will never give up. I'll always hope. Oh, we're getting a bit of love for Millie. Millie Alcock as Supergirl and the movie, in my opinion, were
Yes.
brilliant. Me too. Like, I was saying to Mandy how I started reading the trade paperback, and Mandy actually has now bought it to read herself. Like,
It should come today.
it's a cool story. I really, yeah, it's yeah, people saying Helen of Toy would have been a good name. It would have been. I'm silly.
But maybe,
Natalie
maybe,
Harris
maybe we
is
could do
here.
another thing, and you could be hello. You could be Helen of Toy. I'll be Mandalorian.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. It can be our alter egos. It can be
Yeah.
our alter egos. So on that theme, I have to ask. I think I need to study your ways, Mandy, because have you ever gotten any awkward or weird private messages? Because I feel like you have been a bit luckier in this area than I have.
I think I had. When I did Joseph's Instagram, which is still there, I used to get because some of the pictures, I guess. If someone just glancing and they might be spamming. I had some like naughty pictures sent to me, but they were ladies' naughty pictures. It's like,
Oh
huh,
wow.
well, thanks for that. But I've never had any. I don't think I've had any. No, no, I've been pretty lucky. So, but I'm always open to some. So
When I get the next one, I'll let them know
yes,
that you're interested because I've had a few. It's interesting because I feel like I've now come to the conclusion that nothing good is waiting for me in my request folders. So if someone has messaged me a genuine message and I've never responded to you, I'm so sorry. It's just that
Oh,
I've genuinely come to believe that nothing good is waiting for me in that request folder, because I've had some ones where I'm like, it's just weird. Like I was telling Mandy how I had someone come into my PMs and be really irate, and their opening line was, "You ruin everything," and I was like, I'm like, I'm sorry, I ruin everything. Like I'm 99.99% sure you've never watched a single piece of content on my channel. What
you'd be
are
like,
you on about?
you're
It was
welcome.
literally, yeah, I was just like, are you a Star Wars fan? Like, what have I ruined? Like, can you narrow it down? Because everything, I've ruined everything, have I? It's just like just had a few, yeah, a few weird things. And as
I
I
want
say,
some weird things.
it's just funny. And then some people really don't like my voice and my accent. I'm like, well, you don't have to watch. That's completely fine. I'm not compelling you to. Um,
Now I could understand it with the Brummie accent, the Birmingham accent. It's just like, man, you just sound like.
I don't know, because I mean, I feel like the UK is probably a bit like Australia, where very multicultural. So like day to day, like even in the office where I work, you know, migrants, different accents, and your ear just learns. Like I worked for a bank at one point and we had all these people from Scotland. So I got really good at like having an ear for like that accent. So I don't know, but I was just, again, I was like, I feel like you can't win, because then, you know, if I was to put on a different voice, people would be like, "Oh, why is she talking so funny? Like, what's?" So I just don't feel like you can win. So that's where I'm just like, this is just how I talk. This is how I am. But then, yeah, I also had someone. This might be my favorite one. I had someone suggest that I should have offered to clean their collection room for them, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Would you
In a
say that to
maid's
a man?
outfit.
Probably, yeah,
With a
probably.
little
Don't own one.
feather
Don't own
duster.
one. Sorry. I'll send Shuri over with her
As
tail.
long
So
as
you
the
can.
price is right, I'd bloody put on a maid's outfit and get me feather duster out. You know, but it'll cost you more than like £15 an hour for that. No, I'm
Oh,
joking. I'm joking. I wouldn't wear a maid's outfit. And also,
oh,
I've got a
thanks,
dust
sticker fan
allergy.
for life. Haven't ruined anything for
Oh,
me. Appreciate you. But yeah,
I think it's amazing what you do. I think your stream's always fun. It's always
thank
really well
you.
put together. You're professional, yet you're touchable. Do you know what I mean? You're relatable. You just you're brilliant.
I don't pretend I know what I'm doing, but I appreciate that. Thank you. I jokingly say I'm totes profesh, but I don't feel like I'm professional in any way, shape, or form.
I hope you've
Um,
taken that elastic band off your wrist because it will stop the circulation.
I'm sorry, but it's only when I have my hair down. Like, trust me when I say in day to day life, my hair is up 99% of the time. Because particularly, I need a haircut. It's very long and heavy, and it's gonna warm up. And anyways, things no one cares about for $500. So we've kind of talked about this a little bit, because, you know, we're obviously getting a sense of like Lucy and how amazingly supportive she is around your hobby. So I did kind of wonder, you know, in your day-to-day life, like, how do your friends and family feel about your collecting? Is it something that they sort of, you know, understand, or is it something that they more support because, you know, you love it and they love you, and it's more that, okay, that's Mandy's thing? Or is it something that you kind of have those conversations about? Or are there other people, sort of friends or family, that are collectors as well?
um, I don't really have people close by or in the family that do collect. The kids. Um,
Terry always wears a maid's outfit when
photographs,
he cleans his.
please.
Yeah, can we get that on the Instagram,
Oh
please and
my
thank
God,
you?
he's a handsome devil as well. Imagine him in a maid's
He
outfit.
could
Wow.
probably sell those photos.
Yeah, he really
There's
could.
a side hustle
Put me on
waiting.
the list. Put me on the list. um, yeah, a lot of like friends like take the piss generally. Not, I mean, gently. Like, your dolls. You're playing with your dolls. But I think really they think it's quite cool. Some people are like, I cannot believe the details. And when kids come into the studio, or adults for that matter, they're like, oh, these are ace. So I think that's half the reason they keep coming back for guitar lessons or drum lessons. It's because they just like to see the figures. But
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
everyone just takes it. I mean, it is, if you actually take a step back from what you're doing and think there's an adult here, and we're all adults, and we're buying these dollies that are quite expensive, and we're like, oh yeah, but that tie's not quite right. I mean, it could be weird, couldn't it? So I think we've all done well managing to keep our friends and family and jobs and doing this. Well done, us.
It's funny because, as I said before, the Batmobile, like, people come in and they admire it, and I'm like, if only you knew how much debate and controversy and that's what I appreciate. Like, a friend of mine is really into all, as I say, the more movies and things like that. Doesn't really collect, but like often when he comes over, he'll like, oh, let's have a look, and yeah, and I laugh because he'll look at, you know, even some of the older figures and straight away
Just
knows the characters,
yeah.
loves them, looking at them. And it's funny because, yeah, as you say, it's like, if only you knew how hated that figure was, or how controversial that was for really no
But
good reason, but just the
but it's
fact
mad,
that,
isn't it? How
yeah,
can you get that mad about, like, oh yeah, well, that wheel's not quite to scale, or that's not. I mean, I can appreciate people that can see that level of detail, and kudos to them, but I don't.
yeah,
It might not be the greatest kit bash in the world, but it's that character for me that's got everything. It's got all that nostalgia, it's got all those memories, it's got, you know. So
yeah.
yeah.
I love this comment. Figure Fan for Life says, my son brought a friend over last week and he asked to take pictures of some of the figures. So I think he's pretty impressed. Lots of folks don't really understand. Ask how many I will buy. It's funny. I had like a handyman come over to do some maintenance, and we had to come into this room for some reason. And he was like, oh my God, John Wick. Oh my God, this. And he was like, can I take photos? And I was like, yeah,
Oh,
let me turn the lights on. He was just like, oh my God, like, this is so cool. So yeah, I love it when that happens, but I laugh because I feel like none of my friends really do the collecting thing. So some of them, bless their hearts, will ask about it, but I know it's more to be polite. So I try to keep the responses because it's, and I guess this is the nice thing, like, having, I think for me, like when I set up like my Instagram account and then the YouTube, I think that's been really nice because it's like connected me to people that, not just collect, but I think share some of those same like passions. So as I say, like Supergirl, I can chat to you. Captain Marvel, I can chat to Bob. Like posing, I bug cousin Anthony at Figure Posing Channel. Same with Iron Logan. So you get your closest circle, and I feel like when
yeah.
you can have those deeper and more meaningful relationships, like it's so cool. Like I've had times where I've like this gotten on a video call with Iron Logan or Figure Posing Channel. We're just chatting and posing the figure, and they're giving me some tips. And the first time I heard about that, I was like, well, that's a bit weird, isn't it? But it's something that I absolutely love to do. Like I was saying that to Anthony recently. I'm like, when are we gonna pose something together? And it's not necessarily that the posing, it's also that, you
Yeah.
can talk about the hobby, but then, you get invested in people, and, it becomes more than just the collecting,
Because
but
it
it's
would be
just
lonely, wouldn't
really
it,
good.
if we didn't have this online
Yeah.
community? Because you could talk to your friends and your family, and they'd go, "Oh yeah, it's lovely." Anyway,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, I love this. Bob says, always happy to show people the collection when they're interested, and the tour ends when they ask how much they cost. Yeah, I'm so glad that doesn't come up because I particularly in
Mm.
Australia, because they do, with the exchange rate, cost quite a bit. I think people would think me quite insane if they knew how much this room how much this room would cost. Well, people are saying some nice things about the stream. That's very kind. Austin, what attracted me to Helen's channel was her honesty. And well, thank
100%.
you. I'm just being myself. Dr. No, absolutely appreciate you for keeping Fridays alive. I'm trying my best to keep Fridays alive. I really do. 14 Wellington says the hobby is my escape from grinding of the working world. So I've made the conscious decision to only watch, engage with people who just enjoy things. I'm the same. As I say, I again, because we're putting so much money into it as well. Like I want it to be a positive thing. It's funny, I say this quite a bit, like, you know, so many people like even starting to hate on hot toys. And I genuinely can't think of one Hot Toys figure I've bought that I've opened and gone, oh, it's not very good, is it? Like, I've
No.
had a couple of third-party figures I've opened up and gone, oh, we've made a terrible mistake here. But I feel like the standard overall, and I'm going, I think they're great. So I know for me, I kind of struggle with people who are just, and again, I'm probably like you, where I'm glad I'm not a screen accuracy studying every detail of it. But I do kind of wonder, like, if you dislike them so much, why do you buy them? Because
Yeah,
again,
nobody's got your arm up your back.
yeah,
It's like, just don't get it. Just don't get it. And also, I think if you're knocking something to the point of, you know, that's crap, that's crap, that's crap. For somebody, they love that figure. They love that character. They
yeah,
love that figure. So why make them have bad vibes in their day? You know, it's like, say nothing.
yeah. I wish more people would like scroll on sometimes, because
Hmm.
like I feel very fortunate that I have quite a big collection. I know other people may only have a couple of figures, so and I think the people who have less figures, they mean so much more to them. And I really hate when someone is really excited to share a picture of a figure and maybe they've saved up and maybe that's the one figure they're getting this year, and someone's like, oh, it's crap. Oh, you've posed it badly. I'm like, what? Why? Why be like that?
Yeah.
Or why not be constructive? Go, hey, so awesome, you got that figure. You know,
Why
if
don't
you
you try?
maybe
Yeah.
tweak this or that, like you could improve the pose, or you like,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Thank you, Big Ruby. You're
Oh.
both so awesome. Thank you both. Appreciate you. Um, Terry says scrolling on might be the biggest indicator of emotional maturity in this hobby. I think you might be right there. So one last sort of question to round out the sort of collecting experience. Because you know, you have been doing, you know, the YouTube streaming for quite a while. And I was just wondering, because you know, I know for me, I'd love to see more female participation in like either channels or like being part of streams or whatnot. So just wondering, like, what would you say to any women that have maybe thought about getting involved but have been holding back? I feel like sometimes imposter syndrome can be a little bit of a
Oh yeah.
factor, but if someone had been thinking about it, sort of how has your experience been in the YouTube side of it, and sort of what words of encouragement would you have for them?
I'd say just do it. You know, just if somebody invite, I mean, I've been lucky to be invited on lots of lovely people streams. Obviously, I used to do a stream of my own, but like now I've got a new one. Oh, um, but I would just say just do it, because you can only mess up and you can only learn by your mistakes. And if someone's going to judge you, just put your fingers in your ears. Don't listen to them. Close your eyes. Don't read it. So you know, and there's so many good people in this community that are supportive, like Helen, like Shane, like Lael, like the Collecting Weekly boys. All of those, you know, like the last month, my mind has been blown by the kindness that I've been shown from this community and the support, because you know, like it's and I don't class these people as just acquaintances. They're friends. They're friends, you know, and it's such a great community. Of course, there's going to be one or two bad apples in the barrel, but you know what? You know, the bad apples make the good apples taste even better. You know,
I
so
like that.
it's don't be put off. You know, if you've got if you've you can see the good people you can go to, you can and talk to if you've got any concerns or any questions, or what could I do, because people are very generous. People are very generous with their time and you know, like even onto like kit bashing and stuff, you know, there's no gatekeeping with the Kit Bash Kitchen, Bob Dylan, Henry's son, just but yeah, I'd just say just do it, because you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Because I went to Comic-Con once, and I went in and I looked around, and I said to Luce, I went, Luce, I feel like I found my people. And that was like before, like the 1/6 community, but I really feel like I've found my people. And you know, everybody, just bloody lovely, and I'm so grateful to have this space, because it's just ace, you know.
Yeah, I have to say as well, because I know for me, like setting up this channel, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I have to say, it was really taken aback. Like, you know, people like Big Bretta, like Iron Logan, I'd ask even the most simple things like, what are you shooting with? What app are you using? And just so willing to help and share that information. And I wasn't sure if that was the kind of stuff of like, oh, but you're coming into this space and you're a competitor to me and I don't want to help you. None of that.
No.
None of that at all. Just like couldn't be more helpful. I remember even Iron Logan at one stage, like, took a video of his like filming setup to go, oh, I've got this light and I've got like, just couldn't be more helpful. So I just do, I think you're right. I think the good far outweighs any bad. And I would say as well, like, you know, people who are going to come and be negative, I would just feel like, well, where's your YouTube channel, mate? Like, are you having a crack? Are you putting yourself out there? Because I think it's very easy to, you know, be a keyboard warrior and just be hypercritical of people. But I do think, you know, putting yourself out there is like a really brave thing to do. And I can
100%.
understand, like, people might be a little bit nervous at first. And I know for me, like, when I went out and started streaming on my own, I'm like, what am I even going to say? What do I know? Who wants to listen to some random woman in Australia ramble onto herself? But I've just been taken aback by just the support, the kindness, the encouragement. Like, and I think there's room for more people, more voices, different experiences. Because I know for me, I love hearing like from collectors in different parts of the world. Like, I feel like, you know, and this is not being disrespectful or critical, like, I feel like the American view is pretty well represented. And this is probably something I really enjoyed when I used to stream with Joao and Christian was, you know, Joao was, you know, European guy in China, Christian's in Korea, I'm in Australia, like three very different perspectives on collecting and, you know, even just perceptions on collectibles in the different country. And I really like hearing what it's like in different countries when it comes to, you know, the same hobby, because there are differences you may not necessarily realize. And I just think there's so much space for people, and everyone has something unique that they can bring to the table that has value to it. So I just, yeah, I think
Well,
for
if
anyone thinking about it, just do it.
Well, if people will have me on the stream, then you know everybody's got a place, because you know, like I don't, yeah, you just oh, thanks,
Lucy's
Bab.
just the dream. What a lovely
That's
lady.
so lovely. Bloody love you. It's just
very sweet.
Yeah, this what you do, Helen, you make it look so easy. You really make it look so easy. And the thought of actually doing a stream, I that would fill me with dread. How would you know what to say next? How would you know what buttons to press? You know, it'd be like this. I've got this button. But that's what it'd be like, because I'd be going, I know when I made that video, it's like, but you just make it flow. You're so good. You're so good. You just don't realise how good you are.
I don't even know what I'm saying half the time, Mandy, but I'll take it as a compliment. I like this comment. Is that Huxley?
Yeah, I tell you who's coming up the stairs. Look, she's just got back from work.
Oh.
Hang on. Hang on. Hang on.
Hi. Hey, hello. She's home.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you too.
I didn't crash my car on the way home listening to you both.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. I know I've got my earbuds in, so you can't hear.
Okay. Bye.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, bless
What a
her.
lovely cameo.
Oh.
What a lovely cameo.
And you have to climb over so much stuff to get to this computer
Yeah,
room.
I
There's
know you've
boxes
mentioned it's
everywhere.
quite a small. She's very dedicated to the cause. I respect
Oh,
that.
bless her. That's amazing.
I like this comment. One angry hermit. It's nice when the hobby truly gives you a sense of community, different cultures, different genders, and different ways of interacting with their collections. I agree. Oh,
You get some
Winman,
good comments, don't you?
you're I feel very fortunate that I feel like I've just got a really cool crew of people that watch my channel. I feel like they're people that are also pretty positive about the hobby. Like and for me, like I really the Friday stream, I really enjoy hearing the different perspectives from other people. And it is such a like cool way to end the working week, get into the weekend, talk about my hobby. But yeah, I just feel very fortunate that, you know, I would say bar like 2 or 3 comments, like most of the stuff has been positive. And I really felt like, you know, to put yourself on YouTube is to go, you know what? People are going to like you, people are not going to like you. You just got to roll with the punches. It's part of putting yourself out there. But I feel really lucky that I just really haven't had, as I say, a lot of negativity. Like most people have been just super nice, super supportive. But Winman, I've already had this conversation with Mandy. I would love to watch an all-female panel show, make that happen, even if it's a one-off with 4 or 5 people. Because I guess like with She Collects, like I would love it to be every month I have an interview like this where we can really get to know someone, have a chat about collecting. But I have kind of gone, would it be nice to, in between, have like a panel show where, you know, we can have, you know, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, however we can get different female collectors just chatting about topics, whatnot. Because, you know, you have a lot of panels that are, you know, the gents, and fair enough. But I have wondered if that's something that people would be interested in. So if people are interested in, do let me know, because we can definitely look at doing
Maids
something
outfits
as well.
and feather dusters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, we'll just, when Terry posts his photo, we'll get some
Oh
inspo.
my gosh, yes.
We'll get some inspo as to how to configure ours. But yeah,
Terry,
it's
you've got
something
to make that happen.
it's something I would love to do, because I'm hoping I'll get the volume to keep this going for a while, but I have gone, okay, if I run out of people to interview, do we pivot and have a panel show as well? I don't know, but, you know, open to all suggestions. So I do want to keep this concept alive, and it gives me more chances to chat with Mandy. What a treat. I'm down for that. Figure Fan
Are we not
for
doing
life.
this I thought we were doing this every week, even if it's not going out live. This is what I'm expecting
I'm
now.
down. I'm down.
We signed that contract.
Yeah, I'm
now you're my friend.
No, you are. You got my phone number, Mandy. Where you stuck with me now.
Excellent.
Figure Fan for Life is interested in it. Amazing. Historian at work. That's a great idea. I think so. Just tuned in, loving the new stream so far. Thank you, Spectre. I appreciate it. Recycle the guests as there aren't many women. Look, I've got a wish list. And I'm hoping, I kind of thought if I get one episode down, then maybe it gets easier to attract other guests. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. But if not, yeah, it'll just be Mandy and I every month having a chat.
I can wear different masks. I've got a few masks.
Yeah, just different hairstyles, different outfits, different backgrounds. We can make it work.
Absolutely.
So I gave Mandy some homework. So I asked her to bring along her favorite female figure. So keen to see, Mandy, what did you bring along? What's your favorite female figure and why? I brought one along too that Shuri got very up close and personal with. There she is.
My favourite female figure. It's Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan Kryze, played by the very wonderful Katie Sackhoff. That hasn't got anything to do with it. It's got everything to do with it. And the hair has been... see if I can get my camera to focus.
Ooh, rooted hair.
By Tina Cruz, who is absolutely
I've
brilliant.
got I've got some head sculpts with Tina at the moment.
Oh, she
I'm super
is
hyped.
another level.
Yeah.
I mean, I know this probably isn't the best likeness of Katie Sackhoff. Let me put her helmet down. There. And it might not be the best figure, the single jointed elbows, but it's Bo-Katan. Now, this character for me, through the Clone Wars, Rebels, you see her evolution. She's such a great character, resilience. She's loyal. She's everything that I want to be when I grow up. And the fact that I can actually own a 12-inch or thereabouts action figure of her. I mean, I've told you I want some Mandalorian armor, in
I
my
think you
heart, I'm
should do it.
Mandalorian.
I think you should do
So,
it.
yeah, it's just, like I say, that there's the Cosca Reeves. She's got a great head sculpt as well. But I just love this figure. And I've got like other ones that the Ahsoka figure I love Sabine. But Bo, for me, it's all tied into the character. Probably at least 99% Katie Sackhoff. No, she's just the character.
Lucy did chime in. Mandy's other love.
She's she didn't make all the right choices at first. She messed up, but she's fiercely loyal. She's brave. If she was on your team, you would be all right. Yeah, I love the character of Bo-Katan. So, whatever they release of Bo-Katan, I hope we do get more, or even Starbuck from the remake of Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, just for me, that's everything.
Yeah, I think all those
Yeah.
Bo-Katans were why I was on the wait list for Tina for so long. You'll all be shocked to hear I sent like 2 Captain Marvel sculpts.
Nice.
And and I've got the So Toys Batwoman, and she redid that and did an amazing job. So I've sent this the cowl sculpt to get redone because the So figure's nice, but the hairs are a mess.
She did my Qui-Gon as well, and that's just epic.
Oh,
That's why I've not needed to
nice.
order the new Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
Because it's perfect. I've got a few other things, but I know she's a busy lady. But
Yeah, I was on the list for a while, and I was very elated when she's like, "It's your turn." And boy, in the time I was on the wait list, did I change my mind as to what I was going to send her a million times? Yes, I did. But yeah, I've got a couple of Captain Marvel sculpts and the So Toys one. Quickly show what I picked. I brought the Artisan Black Widow. Shuri was like, you couldn't see her, but at the start of the stream, Helen's trying to do the intro. Little Shuri's deciding, I'm going to rub my fur up against the beautiful artisan hair. I'm like, would you not? I will say, though, I'm so terrible at posing the rolling eyes. I'll get there one day. But this figure is just like I've always liked the Black Widow character in the movies, but I think from a quality perspective, I think this is up there with one of the best figures, like female figures in particular, that Hot Toys has done. The hair's great, the magnetic base, so good.
That's incredible.
Looks fantastic. I'm hoping they will revisit the Avengers 1 Black Widow at some point. And it's funny, I wasn't going to get this. And then the opportunity presented itself in Hong Kong where I saw it, and it was, by Australian standards, a steal of a price. And I have since seen people display it with the strike suit Captain America. And I think that looks really cool. I've almost been tempted to put her in the Winter Soldier display because I just think those two look really, really good together.
My dog keeps visiting. You've been a few times, haven't you? Do you know it's International Dog Day today?
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that. So to wrap things up, what I thought we would do is some rapid fire questions just to kind of finish things off where they are. So how
Is
many
that one word
six-scale...
answers? One word answers.
One word, one sentence, whatever.
Okay.
How many six-scale figures do you own?
140.
Oh, that's quite a lot. So when it comes to hair, rooted, sculpted, or no preference?
If it's InArt, probably rooted when it's needed. But Hot Toys do some wicked sculpted hair. No preference.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same. I think
because there's some I'm really happy with that are sculpted, and it's like, if it's done well, rooted is great because then you don't get any shine on photographs. That's apart from natural shine, like you don't get that plastic shine. So no, I've changed my mind. Rooted.
fair enough. So I thought I'd ask this just given the direction J&D has gone in. Six-scale statues, yay or nay?
I think they look amazing, but not for me. Like I love some of the choices. Like I think the Anakin, the Blitzway movable statue Anakin looks incredible. There's an Arwen, and that looks incredible. But I wouldn't buy them. I would get the 6-scale figure because I can do more with it. I don't like it just in one pose, so I'm not a statue girl.
What was the last figure you pre-ordered?
Bruce Lee.
That's fair enough. Which character do you have the most figures of?
Either Luke or Obi-Wan. I've probably got about seven or 8 of that character. Yeah, I do buy multiples of the same one sometimes if a bargain comes up or if I kit bash it but yeah, Luke or Obi-Wan. And I've got the Mustafar Obi-Wan on the way. So that'll take my Obi count up.
That's fair enough. I think I'm up to 10 or 11 Heath Ledger Jokers. So
You see, I feel better about myself now.
Yeah, and the John Wick will get up there at the same time because yeah, I have an illness with those two. And so the last question, and I call this the Moneyball shot. So if you could ask the figure gods to make you a figure of any character or person, what character or person would it be, and which company are you asking to make it for you?
Oh, there's so many figures that I'd want, you know, and I see that a lot of the ones I want when Bob posts them, it's like, oh, no way. There's an A team and a B team. Can I cheat and have an A and a B?
Sure.
So my A would be Starbuck from the remake, Katie Sackhoff. So yeah, Cara Thrace from the remake of that. And oh no. I'm going to say 2 quickly and then it'll only count as one. Jamie Summers, the Bionic Woman from the 70s TV series, and Arwen from Lord of the Rings, and all made by InArt, please.
I assumed you would say InArt as the company to make them.
Yeah, what about you?
Terry says, never underestimate the value of collectors enabling and validating each other. So true. I don't think my character would shock people, but maybe the company might. So I have said for the longest time that I really would like an Okoye for my A-Force display.
Ooh, yeah.
I kind of don't feel like it's complete without her. But if I'm picking a company, I think I would pick InArt because I think, you know, as we said at the start, like the way they've handled some of those really intricate outfits, like the Wukong figures, the Lord of the Rings, because I would want her. Ooh. Yeah, I'd want her in the Dor Milaje outfit. So I feel like InArt would do a really good job with the costume. So I think I'd be asking InArt to make me an Okoye if I could have that Moneyball shot, because I just don't think Hot Toys is ever going to do it. And I kept hoping that like a third party company might do it. Like I know there was kind of that like Barbie doll figure, but I just to put that next to Hot Toys figures, I just feel like it's always going to stand out as not being of the same quality, because I even had that with originally in that display. I had the Thunder Toys Valkyrie because it was the right outfit, but again, the quality wasn't quite there. So then I did end up getting the Love and Thunder Valkyrie, even though it was a different outfit, but it's kind of at that standard of just that higher level figure, and that's kind of where I've gone. It's not the right look, but it looks better, so that's what I kind of opted to go with. So
good choice.
Yeah, people agreeing with me. It's a crying shame Akoya hasn't been made. Figure fan
I bet
for life
Lumia would be
says.
happy about that.
Oh yeah, I'm she's right there with me.
Do you know? Do you
Figure,
know what? Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
just Lindsay Wagner was my first crush. The Bionic Woman. Figure
I
fan
met
for
her
life
at
with you.
Comic Con. I
Oh,
met
did
her,
you?
and I was so nervous. I was queuing up to meet her to get a photograph, and I was shaking. I was literally shaking because obviously, you know, she was incredible, and I stood next to her, and she's really tall, and she's such a hippie. She's so gentle, and she's got such beautiful vibe. And she was like, "Oh my life, you're shaking so much." So she started rubbing my back.
Oh.
That made me shake more. This bionic woman rubbing my back. It was like that. Oh, this is like, yeah, but yeah, she's a beautiful woman. Beautiful.
Aw, that's so cool. OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. Didn't Factory Entertainment tease Cara 3 Starbuck recently? I mean, I don't know. Those early figures they showed were
Yeah, I might
something.
buy it for the body, but then I'd have to go, Bob, who could I go to make a head sculpt? Tina, could you make me some hair? Yeah, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't
Oh, that's
use
so
their
true.
head sculpt.
Bailey, another one of
Oh,
your clan folk.
he's
Afternoon,
a
just
good
popping in
boy.
whilst on break. Hello, Bailey. Nice to
Hey,
see you.
buddy.
We've got MB Dyson. Hello, ladies. Been enjoying the stream. Great first show. Thank you for popping in. Laura says, I met Carrie Fisher many years ago. I couldn't speak. Oh, wow.
Incredible.
It's a friend of mine is a big Star Wars fan, and Carrie Fisher came to a con in Perth, and his wife was like, "You should go." And he's like, "Ugh." And then obviously, you know, she sadly passed away, and he's now like, "I have so much regret not going." And I'm like, I just always think if they're coming to your doorstep, like, what?
It was
like,
with Katie Sackhoff. Like, there was a Liverpool Comic Con, and I said, "Oh, Luce, look, Katie Sackhoff's there." So Lucy actually bought me the ticket, the photo op with her, and we went to so supportive, and we came out. Like, I got to ask her a question on the panel thing, and then went later on to have a photograph, and she was like, "Hey," give a big hug. Honestly, so lovely. And I came out, and I was so overwhelmed by the whole thing, I just cried. I was like, Martha and Lucy were there, and they're like, "You all right?" It's like, it's just a bit too much. But Lucy actually, else I wouldn't have done it myself because I'd have been too nervous. But because it was a gift. And Lucy's like, "Come on, we'll go to Liverpool. We'll stay for the night, and we'll go up, and we'll, you know." So we all went up, and it was amazing.
Nice.
So supportive.
That's very cool.
Yep.
Alrighty, I think that's all my questions. Thank you so much for spending a couple of hours with me and chatting. Before we sign off, is there anything you want to talk about what's coming up on your channel or the Six Scale Clan group that you'd like to promote? I will remind everyone that all of the links to Mandy's socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the group are all down in the description if you would like to check them out.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to say massive thanks to you for, first of all, for doing this, and then for having me, and it's such an honour to be on a show with you. So first of all, that if anyone wants to join the Clan Sixth group, like I say, a lovely bunch of people. We're doing 6 weeks of giveaways. The first one closes on Friday. 1/6 J, the custom artist, I don't know if you know him, he's brilliant. He's donated prizes for the first 6 weeks. Maybe it's just 6 weeks, or maybe there's something after that that's even better. So yeah, he's very, very generously. And there's another chap as well, he's donated some stuff. So there's a lot of giveaways, so it's not, you don't have to jump through hoops or anything. You just have to follow Instagram, follow Jay's Instagram. If you fancy, give us a subscribe on YouTube to the Clan Sixth, and then just join the group and then put your name in there, and then you'll be in with a chance. We're going to run the wheel thing on Friday. So you've got a couple more days to put your name for that one, but there is another giveaway starting on Sunday, and that'll run all next week. So every Friday we'll do a spin the wheel, and so you'll get some goodies. Yeah, and it's a really nice group. We've got lovely admin Bailey, lovely admin Joe, Matt and Jaden are moderators as well. Lovely guys. We haven't had to use any of our muscle to tell anyone off or break up squabbles, because it is such a lovely place. If you want to post your pictures, if you want to post your pet pictures, if you want to post anything, don't be afraid, because even if you think, oh, that's not good enough to post, it's lovely seeing everybody's stuff, and for you to take the time to share one picture or one comment about anything. Like I say, pet pictures are always welcome. It's just, yeah, it's just a lovely place. There's no drama, there's no meanness, and there's just lots of support and some really lovely people. And it's a clan. It was important with clan, like Clan Crees, like the Mandalorian, like we'll fight for each other, we'll have each other's backs, we'll just, it's just family. Clan means family, Irish, Scottish. So yeah, it's thank you. And just come along.
It's lovely. It does. It has a really nice vibe to the group. I'm really enjoying it. Just got a lot of people thanking us for the stream, which is lovely. Like, really appreciate people tuning in. I got to work on 24 when I was doing extra work. She was great.
Oh, with Katie Sackhoff. Oh, my days.
There you go.
Yeah,
with Katie on 24. Wow.
Oh, incredible.
That's very, very cool. So, people, great stream. When are we going to do it again? Hopefully soon. As I say, I'm hoping this is something that can keep evolving with time. We'll keep doing this. As I say, interviews, maybe it'll be a panel as well. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Mandy, again, thank you so much for your time. On your way out, if you'd like to like the stream, help more people see it, that would be amazing. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you again soon. Mandy, appreciate you. Thank you. And remember, all the links to Mandy's socials down below. See you guys.